Hello everyone, it is Suzanne Hart here, and I trust you're doing well, and that you're having just a fantastic, amazing week. One of the things we've been talking about in the Fit, Fab, and Fulfill Mastermind is this whole concept of creating a clearing, and I've done a few videos on that, and really getting people to understand that a clearing is space. It's making space in your life to invite in the things, the outcomes that you want that are going to move you towards your vision. So one of the really interesting things was we did a clearing in time, and it was really people looking at their lives and really going through a process that has them begin to master themselves in time, because we can't manage time. We can manage who we are in this concept called time, which is 24 hours no matter who you are or where you are, right? So we went through that process, and how I recommended people do it was that they build a schedule and they really schedule the outcomes, the individuals and the events that are important to them. So people went ahead and they began to build their schedules, and they came back, and many people were stuck, which is normal. And there was two things that I really wanted to talk about. One was that a schedule only is effective if you get in communication with the people in your world, because a schedule is actually a negotiation where you're asking people to take a stand for this space that you've created for an activity that you want to do, an outcome that you want to create. And if you don't engage in conversation and you don't ask people in your world to hold that space, one is they won't even actually know that you're creating the space and you want to fill it. That's the word I want you to realize. Fill it with an activity or an action that's going to give you an outcome. And if you don't tell them, they will fill it with other things for you, and you will no longer have the clearing that you wanted. So really people were like, oh, I have to get in communication. I have to go sit down and negotiate with my family so that they can hold the space for me so I can produce the results I want, and I can in turn hold the space for them. The other thing was I needed to get in communication because I wanted to create spaces and times in my life for the people I love. Date night, family time, and have everybody on the same page so they're all respecting the time that you put together for quality interaction for those people. This was the interesting thing though. Once everybody created their clearing, right? So they allotted time, and maybe they got into conversation and people are beginning to hold the space. The question was, are you clear in terms of what you're filling it with? And this is so key, particularly for the entrepreneurs that are listening, those that are self-employed, and people aren't actually telling you how to fill your clearing, right? And so I know when I first got into working for myself and working from home, I did the first part. I built my schedule. I did the second part. I got into conversation with family and friends and engaged people in supporting me and holding this space for me. So I had this empty space. But this was the interesting thing. I didn't get clear on what I was filling it with. So I didn't fill it with the activities that were going to move myself forward. I filled it with the activities that were comfortable. And the activities that were comfortable was playing on my computer, listening to audios and reading things. The activities that were comfortable was cleaning my office, doing all things. And I was home, so I started doing laundry. I started cleaning the house. And so now I had this clearing, and my family was looking at me going, what on earth are you doing? We're holding this space and you're not doing the things that are going to get you the outcome you want. So I had to have that aha moment, that moment where you're like, this is not working. And I really was required to get clear. And this is what happened. I started really going, okay, what do I want to achieve? What's the outcome I'm working towards for this month, for this quarter? And then each week I had to start setting clear targets. This is the target I want to achieve. This is what I want to achieve this week. And then I had to back in and go, okay, so these are the activities, the actions that I'm going to do to give me the outcomes I want. And I got really clear on what I was filling that space in time with. But not only did I get clear, I began to measure it. So it was really around, I was going to do X X amount of calls, I was going to schedule X amount of appointments, and I was going to get on the phone with X amount of people. I was going to have X amount of people looking at information. I got really specific. And that's when things began to move. Because I had created the clearing, right? I created the clearing in time. And neither you or I can achieve anything unless we create the space in time in our lives, right? The second thing is when you create that space and time and you get in communication with family and they're holding it, it's really, what are you filling that space with? Are you filling it with the activities that are going to give you the outcomes you want? Or are you filling it with the activities that are comfortable and easy? Or are you allowing people to fill it with what's urgent to them and has no impact on your life or where you're going? This is what I know. When you get that clear, you are going to have such a respect for your time that you will be really clear on what goes in that space that you've created. You're also going to teach other people to respect your time and hold the space, because they'll begin to realize how important the outcomes, the goals, the vision that you have for your life and that of your family is to you. And when you begin to respect your time in a way where it becomes a non-negotiable, the world will rise up and meet you, and they will begin to respect it. Why? Because you're going to teach them to. Remember, you and I teach the world how to treat us. And when we are not respectful, when I'm not respectful of my time, I can't expect the world to respect it back. I've got to set the example. And the example is to create the clearing and fill it with the activities that are going to produce the results I want. So I trust this serves you. This on my journey, this was one of my biggest learns. It was one of the things that moved me from producing results to not producing results. It was one of those things, right? Knowledge is only power when utilized in a systematic way. And the only way I can use it in a systematic way is if I structure my time and I fill it with the activities that are going to move me forward. So I trust it helps. Let me know what you think. Thank you for spending this little bit of time with me. Take care. Bye-bye.